Hey everyone, I'm Trey McKeith, a junior business management student and player on the men's basketball team. St. Francis University of Atlanta, specifically the men's basketball program in my case, is a tight knit family. From the players that graduated many years ago to the players that are getting ready to join the program now. No matter what year you graduate or what year you have participated in an athletic program, you will always be connected with the players and coaches who competed for or led your sports program at one point in time. As a result, you gain many connections that prove to be beneficial both within the game of basketball and in professional business world. I have aspirations to one day run a successful business that is centered around basketball training, skill development, and mentorship. I am thankful that one of the connections I have made is currently doing exactly just that for himself in Richmond, Virginia. And now I will show a clip that's advertising for his business. Now, in my presentation, I was speaking about brief background on my interviewee, including his college and basketball experience, the two OB content areas, which is motivation as well as personality and values, the key takeaways and advice from my interview, the impact on my future professional goals, interesting interviewee facts, and of course, finish with my summarized final thoughts. Now, a quick, brief background on my interviewee. Anthony Irvin, known as Scoop to his professors, classmates, and coaches, was alumni from St. Francis and a basketball player on St. Francis University team from 2009 to 2013. After a successful collegiate basketball career and obtaining his bachelor's degree in social work, Scoot went on to play semi-professional basketball in his hometown for the Richmond Elite, an ABA basketball team. However, in the winter of 2014, Anthony knew he had a higher calling beyond playing successfully in his own athletic career. Scoot wanted to help others take their game to the highest level and began training athletes, specifically basketball players, under the business created called Scoop Hoops. Scoop Hoops is a basketball skill development and training organization centered around mentorship and helping its customers succeed both on and off the court. Along with hosting training sessions and basketball clinics, Scoop is a motivational speaker at schools, coaches at high school basketball teams, coaches AU basketball as well as within the Commonwealth of Virginia. He is very involved in surrounding communities. Now I will talk about the OB areas I chose and why. There were many OB content areas and topics that exposed myself through my interview with Scoop. Nothing less, motivation and personality and values were the two I focused on the most. I chose to focus on these two topics first and foremost because motivation plays a large role in sports on all levels. Motivation is often a key factor of success because without desire and determination to improve your performance, you often do not improve nor refine success. Not only is it necessary to possess the motivation to work hard in the face of fatigue, boredom, pain, and desire to do other things, but it is also just as necessary for athletic coaches and trainers to be able to motivate their players, who all possess different personality traits and values. Thus, a good trainer has to learn how each individual player is motivated and use that to help them improve upon their game. It is Scoot's mission to set himself apart from other basketball trainers by emphasizing his efforts on the court. On his organization's website, Scoop states, Personally, my goal is to motivate my clients through challenging training while maintaining character, integrity, perseverance, and a firm emphasis on education. Now, next is how this all relates back to what we have studied. Much of the conversation I engaged in with Scuba is directly related to our coursework, just as we discussed in class. Scuba indicated that some of his players are more easily motivated than others. Nothing less, the main reason for the motivation is certainly within many of his athletes. The desire to want to obtain a college scholarship or their next professional basketball deal deserves as a big motivation factor for many of them. Numerous athletes that Scoop now trains do not have confidence in their athletic ability prior to working with him. He has to exhibit verbal persuasion in order to convince his athletes that they have the necessary skill level in order for them to operate under the self-efficacy theory. I found that reviewing his organization's Twitter also provided insight to self-efficacy theory and that Scoop reposts motivational tweets regarding athletes, athletics, and coaching strategies knowledge for the players he trains to see. He also constantly is posting the accolades of the high school students and professional players he trains. Aside from being proud and supportive of this athletes and everything they do, both on and off the court, he indicates that posting accomplishments and stats holds other players accountable and makes them want to work harder because they see it as possible to reach success if you buy into his training style. One thing I found very interesting was that Scoop does not make mandatory workouts with his clients. He allows his clients to set their own appointment for training sessions. He does this because the self-determination theory states that people prefer to have control over their actions. He believes that when an athlete feels like a previously enjoyed task such as playing basketball is more like an obligation, their motivation for the sport decreases. Scoop, acting as the manager of the organization, realizes the importance of using goal setting and verbal rewards as a method to increase motivation. It appears to me that Scoop Hoops embodies more of a positive reinforcement motivation method. When Scoop begins to train a client, he meets with them and has them set three goals that they want to accomplish on the court and one goal that was successful on off the court while working with him. Self-generated feedback is used after training session when he evaluates the athlete's work and has them evaluate how close to reaching their goal they believe they are. The idea behind this use of the goal setting theory is that because these goals are specific and effectively difficult, it will lead to higher performance. A difficult goal will help the individual to focus and direct their attention as well as energize them to work harder. The difficulty of the goal will increase their persistence and force the athlete to be more effective and efficient in their training sessions. School believes that the relationship between goals and performance depends on how committed the individual is on a goal as well as how specific the tests are. It was clear that Scoop did not believe that other successful basketball coaches and trainers possessed the same personality and values. He stated different coaches bring different personality traits to the table, but what's most important is how they understand their players' personalities and what they react best to. This was related to what we learned in class about the person-organization fit. It is more important that employees' personalities fit with the organizational culture than with the characteristics of any specific job. He indicated that some players on the team he helps coach are very timid, while others are very aggressive. Meanwhile, they all contribute a necessary skill to the organization. Scoop indicated that some words his players will use to describe him will likely be dependable, reliable, thorough, organized, able to plan, and persistent. Likewise, many of his athletes show initiative, identify opportunities, possesses proactive personalities, and are self-monitoring and adjust their behavior to meet external factors in order to gain success. In talking to Scoop, I was very interested in learning how he believed that the personality and values of players, parents, and our support system plays a significant role in their potential success. Now I'm beginning to talk about the key takeaways from my interview that I felt were really important. One of the key takeaways I gained from this interview came when discussing the non-athletic aspect of his business. Asked some questions related to items such as the client and financial side, and also the advertising side of the business, how it was clear where he got the basketball experience from. But I was curious as to where he got the experience to grow his business in these other areas. I believe this advice will prove to be beneficial in my future. I also thought it was very admirable that he attends to the college games of many of the high school athletes he had trained in the past, even the ones who attend college out of state. He also attends high school games for his high school trainees, as well as shows up to every one of their signing days when they sign to play basketball in college. Growing up as an athlete in Pittsburgh, I didn't have that day in and day out support from a coach, a trainer, a mentor outside of the training sessions or basketball season, and have always wanted that in my life. I think this helps me bond. I think this helps him bond with players and gains their trust. It is important when running a sports training and skill development organization that your athletes buy into your particular training style. I believe it was also beneficial that I viewed Scoop's LinkedIn profile, and I now know the importance of skills endorsement section. Not only was I able to see the amount of people who endorsed his skill related to his organization, such as basketball knowledge and athletic training, I was also able to review the credentials and see that well-known licensed coaches were some of the people endorsing his work. His organization, Scoop Hoops, did not have his own LinkedIn profile. During an interview, I asked him why he chose not to create a LinkedIn profile for his business, in which he answered that because he is the only trainer in the organization right now, he felt it was very appropriate that he was receiving business reviews on his individual LinkedIn. Now we're going how this activity impact my future about my profession about my profession. And thinking of my future profession, I believe it is most important that I saw that Scoop is also working to prepare these athletes for life and a future outside of basketball. Scoop's training program includes membership, leadership, and discipline because he believes athletes need more than just skill development on the court. He aims to provide mentorship in academics, life, and sports in order to establish a well-rounded individual. Ultimately, this is what I want to do with starting up a training company of my own after college. Now I'll talk about the interview interesting fact. One interesting fact that I learned about the interview was that he had the opportunity to travel to China where he got to play basketball with the locals as well as participate in training clinics. China is one place that I always dream to play basketball and learn the culture. And that's it. And finally, I'll summarize my final thoughts. This interview proved to be very helpful and informative for me. It provided me with better insight in a future professional state while allowing me to better grasp the concepts we learned in class because I was able to relate them to something I know in basketball. Motivation and personality and values play large roles within athletics, specifically, specifically in Scoops, Scoop Hoop training and skill development business. Thank you.